quick review presents the 5 best laptop for gaming. Let's get started with the list. Starting of our list at number 5. Lenovo Legion Y740 Gaming Laptop. Lenovo's Legion brand keeps pushing forward to catch up to its gaming laptop rivals, and this 17.3-inch system hits an interesting balance between Lenovo's traditional business prowess and being a great gaming-focused machine. Lenovo has always been one of the best keyboard designers for business laptop users, with large keycaps that curve nicely under the finger. You get that same style here and it's a pleasure to use, though I can imagine some people might not take to the bigger keys if you're too accustomed to other setups. The flip side, however, is a lackluster trackpad experience, with 2 physical buttons, where most modern designs extend the trackpad surface all the way to the bottom edge. That said, the power of the speakers here really stood out amongst the rest of our favorites. Not that they sounded the sweetest, but they definitely had serious punch when you wanted to turn things up. Game performance was not far behind the Area 51 meters in terms of raw power, but combined with an NVMe SSD and 144Hz display with G-Sync built in, the screen delivered jitter-free renders and fast movement using some of the stronger NVIDIA cards. It did feel a little muddy at times, though, not always as sharp as we'd like. The laptop's design feels bland, which might turn you off if being flashy is what matters. But it's great if you just want a great gaming laptop that's comfortable to use, while also not trying to make a big deal about its gaming credentials. At number 4. Asus ROG Strix Scar 3 Gaming Laptop. Performance is solid, but one simple feature that makes it really stand out is the dedicated strip of control buttons instead of having shared function keys. Controls for volume and microphone muting are here, as well as a launch button for the Asus ROG controller software. Plus, there's toggle for instantly shifting the processor configuration between silent, performance and turbo modes instead of relying on a software solution. Details like the spacebar having a wider left side and a USB Type-C port speak to gamers, having been at the heart of the thinking behind the design. This keyboard gives the most comfortable WASD hand positioning for reaching important keys nearby like Shift and Space. The USB keystone is this laptop's most unique feature, however it's an NFC device that adds a physical security component to the laptop, as well as giving you a built-in memory device for quickly sharing data. When removed from the laptop, a defined section of the main system storage is locked down and disappears from view. It's great for the security-minded, but it's easy to see where things can go wrong here. Strangely, there is no webcam built in, something that seems standard in just about every laptop out there, but if you're somebody that takes their security very seriously, this omission on top of the keystone feature is definitely a plus. At number 3. Dell Alienware Area 51M Laptop. The Area 51 meters is the biggest beastiest machine on the list. It almost feels like a lie to use the phrase laptop to refer to it. Measuring 16 x 12.5 inches and weighing 8.5 pounds, it feels like more of a desktop you can pack up when required. Compared to the other options on the list, toss this in a giant shoulder bag and you're likely to throw your back out carrying it around town. One annoying surprise is the inclusion of a double power supply. On first unpack, it seemed like there had been a mistake when I saw the 180W brick. The M15 has a 240W, until I realized that it uses 2 of them to operate. That means 2 power ports, 2 power cables, and 2 power bricks. It's a mess of cables before you even add an external mouse or headset. For all that fuss though, this is a crazily powerful gaming rig, and it ran everything we threw at it smoothly and without any issues. The 17-inch monolith isn't trying to be slim or svelte, but does have a few curves that seemingly are to assist airflow, while also giving it a touch of style. The lighting design is subtle, but pops in the places it's been added, including a striking multi-zone light ring around the rear air vents. Gammaplay raw performance is the best we've seen in any laptop tested, with a beefy processor, GPU, and RAM delivering the goods, and the combination of a 256GB SSD and 1TB SSHD mean you won't have to think about uninstalling a game for a good while. The options to include NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 or 2070 instead of the regular GeForce GTX cards definitely helps out, and it also has a very bright screen doing a better job than many of revealing detail in darker areas, but the screen does get more screen tear during fast rotations. We tested the 60Hz model, so we'd really want to buy it with the 144Hz upgrade option. At number 2. Alienware M15 Gaming Laptop. The latest design on Alienware's M15 feels truly first class. Honeycomb patterns are a big feature, and along with looking great, they allegedly offer improved chassis strength and airflow capacity. The black-white styling is also a striking look, and the finish of the body feels great under the hands. The overall M15 package is something that feels incredibly well constructed for use as both a general-purpose laptop and a gaming rig. A significant inclusion it boasts is Tobii eye tracking tech. At its most basic functionality, it can dim the screen when you look away and brighten when you return, saving precious battery life when you're using it away from power. But it's also got great potential for gaming, allowing eye movements to be used as an input option in games for things like camera movement. Tobii eye tracking supports games like Elite Dangerous, Arma 3, The Division 2, Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, and most importantly, Euro Truck Simulator 2. In practice, setting up Tobii seemed a bit fussy, failing in a number of attempts to get it set up during our testing time. It worked out of the box for screen dimming and wake-up features, and even then it's sometimes dimmed during a benchmark test, even though we were sitting right there in front of the screen. But the promise of Tobii seems solid for those who have the time to tinker and get it working. For future-proofing purposes, Alienware also includes the dedicated connector port for its proprietary EGPU unit, so you can give the machine a boost while at a desk, should that end up feeling necessary, as well as the necessary RAM to make use of that feature. It's hard to fault what Alienware is delivering here. There's no real problems to note, though the touchpad feels a little too small for regular use in day-to-day tasks. However, the speakers sound great, the keyboard feels really nice to use, and if the already nice screen isn't enough as it is, you can now opt for an out-of-this-world OLED model too. The only caveat, you just need to set your wallet to be stunned, too. At number 1. Razer Blade Stealth Gaming Laptop. A successor of sorts to the Razer Blade Pro, the Razer Blade Stealth is a sleek, well-built hunk of black aluminum that feels like Apple said yes to making an ultra-slim laptop for gamers. But even though the logo on the back and those green-trimmed USB ports send out the signal that this is very much from the house of Razer, it's still a nice minimalist piece of hardware that doesn't scream gaming laptop like a lot of others. The Stealth is a pleasure to type on and use as an everyday piece of working hardware, if a little cramped for larger hands. Its size means that one of its major shortcomings is the deeply limited 256 GB storage that can only be upgraded to 512 GB by ordering the absolute top-of-the-line model. With today's comparatively large game install sizes, expect to only ever have a few games installed at a time on here. With its portable-friendly design, it's not surprising that this machine delivers the worst gaming performance of all units tested. The entry-level Stealth only gets built-in graphics and a 1080p screen, while a maxed-out version can have a 4K touchscreen and a GTX 1650 Max-Q GPU. We found it could only run demanding games on low settings and was happiest by reducing resolution down to 720p. That being said, if convenience is your biggest priority and you can handle playing games at lower settings while on the go, then the Stealth is a fine choice. There's something really pleasing about a sleek 13-inch ultra-portable laptop with a couple of USB Type-C ports that also happens to deliver plenty of value if you want to play games. And if you decide to invest in an EGPU unit for home, you can very easily get the best of both worlds.